The next ride might be their last. The Morris family got lost trying to find Zoo Gardens theme park, but that's okay. They found another amusement park instead. It's called HorrorLand. In HorrorLand, there are no crowds, no lines, and the admission is free. It seems like a pretty cool place, but that was before that heart-stopping ride on the Deadly Doom slide, and that terrifying experience in the House of Mirrors. Because there's something weird about the rush in Horrorland, something a little too creepy, a little too real. Hello, folks. Welcome back to our channel reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of the classics from the original series, number 16, entitled One Day at Horrorland. First of all, I would like to say a few words about the front cover. I freaking love it. I think that's one of the scariest ones in Goosebumps, and so ominous and creepy. Basically, you have that park, the theme park, basically Horrorland in the distance, and you can see some of the attractions such as a big wheel and a roller coaster, as well as tents, here and there. And it seems like the sun is setting, so it's getting dark, and you have a very dark blue sky with some pink tints some places. And you have on the foreground a huge sign which reads, "Welcome to Horrorland, where nightmares come to life." And you have a big tree which is kind of blocking the way, so to speak. And it's a bare tree, and its branches or tree limbs seem to be sort of reaching out to that big fat monster, a green monster with horns and claws, who is actually hiding behind the sign, as if he was kind of daring us to go to Horrorland, basically. Man, that's such a great introduction to the book, and the tagline reads, "Enter if you dare." Now, the book itself was amazing. It's one of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. I had so much fun reading it. That was so awesome, dude. I cannot even emphasize it enough. That was such a fantastic experience I had reading it last year. Man, that book is definitely a must if you're a Goosebumps fan. You could even start reading that one, as an introduction to Goosebumps. You could, go with this one perhaps, and see for yourselves. And I think that will give you, that will leave a very, very, very good, positive experience for you. Yeah, because that book is definitely one of the best written Goosebumps books out there, bar none. I really loved it. The way it's narrated and stuff makes it so, easy to relate to the characters, and it actually feels like we're in the park itself. I kid you not. I felt actually as if I were with the characters themselves, and basically going through everything they went through, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. So basically, you have that family, like I said, they're named basically the Morse, right? And basically, you have the parents and a brother, a sister, and a brother, Lizzie and Luke. And Luke's best friend, his name is Clay, who's kind of a scaredy cat, who doesn't even want to go to the park, and who's always kind of lagging behind, and always shaking, and not actually wanting to, to do anything, basically just get out of there. And they kind of have that game, which is a pinching game, basically. I believe that Luke calls himself the Mad Pincher, something like that, and he loves to tease his sister and his best friend. And that's pretty funny, I guess, if you're a kid. And I think that there's signs, over there inside the park, which basically orders children not to pinch, basically, which is pretty relevant to the book itself, but I don't want to spoil it too much or anything, so I'll let you discover it for yourselves, but there's more to it. But basically, they're going through all these different attractions, activities, whatever you want to call it. And so basically, there's some kind of a doom slide, which is kind of a slide that doesn't actually have any end, kind of an endless sort of thing. Man, that would have been so awesome to have that in real life. I mean, perhaps not endless because that would be pretty scary, I guess, and that would put the whole thing out of business. But I mean, kind of like something similar would be pretty cool, right? And of course, it has to end somewhere. You just don't know when or where. But yeah, I'll let you find out for yourselves. It was such a great there was such a great experience I had. I felt there really like physically, as I told you. We feel there in the park because it's so well detailed and stuff. And if you're lucky enough, you can even read the audio, have the audio book, and you'll feel there basically. Really, it's a much better way to get into the story itself. But basically, after that, they go to the House of Mirrors, and I don't know if you ever tried it, but apparently you have your reflection, and you're supposed to move around the place and find your way out, but you can't actually save because you have your reflection, on the floor, on the ceiling, on the wall, so you don't actually know where you're going. That was pretty good too. There's also a scene that involves a boat ride, and the boats are kind of shaped like coffins, and they have to lie down, and at some point something really creepy takes place. I don't want to spoil it, the book or anything, because it was such a positive experience I had, such a marvelous time, reading this book. Really, it flies by. Really, I so love this book, man. I cannot even emphasize it enough with my words, but with the words I'm using, but I'm trying my level best to, kind of let you know about my views on the book. You can probably tell from the tone of my voice, but yeah. And basically, this is pretty interesting. And like I said, Clay's kind of a scaredy cat. He doesn't want to go through anything. He doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to get out of there as fast as possible, basically ASAP. And you have the parents who have to wait for their children at some point. I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically, they end up going to that park because they got lost. I don't know if I said it at the beginning. So basically, they got lost. They wanted to go to that zoo. Basically, yeah, as I mentioned, I don't. I actually read it in the summary, but I'm not gonna go too deep. But basically, yeah, they get lost in the middle of nowhere, and they find that sign, which is actually welcoming them to go to that new park called HorrorLand. And they decide to go there, and everything seems kind of scary and creepy. And you have those kind of monsters, green sort of creatures, and they have those horns, and they call themselves whores. And there's something really interesting about them. Is you'll see it when you get to the final twist, what these creatures are really up to. So I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but basically they aren't actually any real help. Basically, when the children ask them for direction or for directions, or for example to help them with anything, they kind of just get rid of them, like discredit them, be like not helpful at all, like kind of just shushing them away or something like this, shooing them away, right? And so basically, this book is pretty amazing. I really love the final twist when you finally get to that big climax, pinnacle, whatever you want to call it, and they're fighting. I will. I don't want to spoil it too much, but maybe I will let you in on some perhaps a very brief description of the final scene. It's basically some kind of a monster sort of fight wrestling scene. That's it. I'm not gonna go any further than that, but man, that was such an awesome read. This is one of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. I had so much fun reading it. And yes, I would definitely love to reread it this summer, sometime this summer. It's a summer book, in case you're wondering. So you could even like read it in the summer, perhaps. That would make it all the more. It would make it a better experience even, all the more pleasant. But yeah, that was such a fantastic read, man. And I know most people love One Day at HorrorLand for what it is. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was riveting. It was fantastic. One Day at Horrorland, if I were to give it a rating, I think I'd give it 9.5 out of 10. Maybe 10, you know? You know what? I'd give it 10. It was such a fantastic read. I had so much fun reading it, dude. And the final twist at the end was kind of ominous in some way and a little bit like a cliffhanger. And man, that was so well. I mean, this entire book is gold, right? It's so freaking good. And I think that's pretty much it. So, and yeah, I think this book definitely deserves a read, and it's definitely one of the best Goosebumps books of all time. So, what about you folks? What did you think about One Day at Horrorland? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is it your favorite book? Is it your worst Goosebumps book? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Really, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next review. This is HorrorLand Reviews for you, signing off. Take care, goodbye. Signing off now.